treating way too many bone stress injuries. I got really tired of this story. And I think this post by Nick really emphasizes some of the really important parts of recovering from a bone stress injury. If you have a high risk bone stress injury of any kind, you really should get a DEXA. And with the boom in running, as we saw in this year's City to Surf, these injuries are becoming more common, and restricting access to DEXAs and gatekeeping it for people to go get imaging is not on. It's not how we get these people the best outcomes, because once you've had your first bone stress, you're 6 to 7 times more likely to have another one, and having a low bone mineral density is basically going to mean all of that is slower. And why people have low bone mineral density varies a lot. But if you are towards this lower end, below average in this, osteopenic or lower than -1 on a DEXA, it's going to mean these things are going to be a bit slower for you. And if you're -2.5 on this score, it's going to be massively slower for you. Appreciating this is so important because it's going to affect how you recover. Not just that, it also is going to potentially play a role in how likely you are to have these again, or to have issues later on in life if your bone mineral density stays too low. Now, the common ways we do get bone mineral density checked is at the lower back and at the femoral neck or the hip. And it's really important when we're reviewing these, we're looking at this with a really objective lens. That means if there is anything that is below 0, it is below average. If there's anything below -1, it is well below average or osteopenic, which means significantly low. And if it's below -2.5, it's very, very low or osteoporotic. Both of those categories, osteopenic and osteoporotic, are a sign that this is going to take longer and that you need to do some work to get your bone mineral density up so that you can be at a lower risk of bone stress injuries. In saying that though, just being below 0 isn't exactly favorable either, and it's probably something that we should be trying to drive up in those patients, although we may not need to go and get repeat DEXAs in those situations if it is above that -0.1. It's still something to work on. This is a machine that we should be using a lot more. DEXAs shouldn't be gatekept. We shouldn't be interpreting the results wrong. Just because it's not below -1 or below -2.5 does not mean it's normal. I've had 3 patients come in this week who had below -1 on a DEXA who were told it was normal. And one of those patients only ended up getting referred for a DEXA because they actually had a stress fracture from coughing and getting sick, right, in their ribs. They had a stress fracture and a pretty big one in one of their ribs from just getting sick. That's what it took for the GP to allow referring on for a DEXA, and I think that's not on.